There's a plant in your bathroom that's still alive, but it hasn't grown in months. Maybe it's a pothos, maybe a peace lily. You water it from time to time, wipe the dust, move it around to catch some light, but deep down you know it's just surviving, not thriving, and if we're being honest, you might feel the same. This isn't about plants, it's about energy, and bathrooms, more than any other room in your home, are where that energy quietly slips away. Not because you did anything wrong, but because most of us never learned how to see that space for what it truly is. A place of release and renewal. You close the toilet lid, you wipe the mirror, you light a candle, but have you ever paused to think about what your bathroom is actually holding for you? Emotionally, energetically, financially. In Feng Shui, this isn't just the wet room. It's the room where downward energy gathers. And if we don't balance that pull, we don't just lose water, we lose momentum, clarity, even motivation. That's where plants come in. Not just any plants, but living allies that absorb, anchor, and redirect energy that would otherwise drift away unnoticed. Today, I'm going to show you 8 specific plants that don't just look nice. They shift the way your bathroom breathes, and when your space breathes differently, so do you. If you've been feeling stuck, tired, or foggy, even if everything in your life looks fine, this video might offer the shift you didn't know you needed. So let's start, not with what to buy, but with how to see differently. Because how you treat the quiet corners of your home says a lot about how you treat yourself. And maybe it's time to shift both. Bathroom, the quiet doorway of fate. You walk in, you brush your teeth, maybe wipe the counter, maybe not. The mirror might be foggy from the shower, the floor still damp. You reach for the towel, rinse, flush, leave day in, day out. The routine is so familiar, so automatic, it rarely asks for your full attention. And yet this room may be influencing your life more than you realize. Bathrooms are the only rooms in your home where everything exits. Water drains, air moistens, waste releases, and in the language of energy which your body speaks, even if your mind doesn't always notice, this creates a quiet pattern of downward pull. In Feng Shui that matters, but even if you've never heard of Feng Shui before, you felt this pull. It's the heaviness in the mornings that coffee can't shake. It's the fogginess after a shower, the drop in motivation as soon as you walk out. And maybe you've chalked it up to age, hormones, or stress. But what if it's not just inside you? What if the room itself is echoing something back? Think of it like this: every room in your house has a job. The kitchen nourishes, the bedroom restores, the living room connects, but the bathroom, it releases. And when we don't balance that release with something intentional, something alive, something grounding, then the bathroom becomes a space of quiet depletion, not by design, but by default. Most of us don't treat our bathrooms as sacred. We clean them, yes, we organize, we add scent diffusers and buy matching towels, but that's surface care. Energetically, the space still feels cold, harsh, and functional. That's not your fault, it's how we've been taught to view it. But here's the thing: just because something is common doesn't mean it's correct. Here's a gentle truth: how you treat the least visible room in your home often reflects how you treat the least visible parts of yourself. And if your bathroom has become a place of rush, tension, or emotional blankness, chances are some part of you feels the same. You don't have to believe in energy to sense when a space feels good and when it doesn't. You don't need to be spiritual to know that certain rooms drain you. And once you start paying attention, it's hard to unsee. That's why bathrooms are so crucial, because they're not just physical spaces. They're energetic thresholds. What goes down the drain doesn't just disappear. It sets a tone. And over time, that tone becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Identity becomes your daily life. So the question isn't, does my bathroom matter? The question is, what message is it sending when I'm not paying attention? The good news: this is not about renovation. You don't need new tiles or fancy lighting. What you need is presence. And one of the simplest, most powerful ways to restore presence in this space is through living things. Specifically plants, not because they are trendy, not because they purify air, though they do, but because they reverse the pattern. Where water pulls down, roots pull in. Where energy escapes, leaves absorb. Where the room forgets its breath, plants remind it to inhale again. That small act, the choice to add life to a room designed for release, can be the beginning of a much bigger shift. Think about it. If your bathroom, the place where energy leaves, can become a space of subtle holding, even just a little, what else in your life might start to hold again? Your peace, your momentum, your finances. This isn't about belief, it's about balance. The bathroom will always be a place of release, but it doesn't have to be a place of loss. When you bring in even one conscious element, a plant placed with care, a corner made intentional, you shift the vibration of the room. And when the vibration shifts, so do you, slowly, gently, but undeniably. So the next time you walk into your bathroom, don't just ask if it's clean. Ask if it's holding you, if it reflects respect or just routine, if it's somewhere you rush through or somewhere you can reset, because the rooms we overlook often carry the most power, and the moments we forget often hold the most potential. The bathroom may not look like a doorway, but energetically it always has been, and maybe it's time we walked through it differently. Golden pothos, the hand of prosperity waiting to be lifted. Maybe you already have one, a golden pothos sitting quietly somewhere in your home. You picked it up at the grocery store, or it was a gift from someone who said, "It's easy to care for." And it is. It doesn't complain, it survives on little. It grows when it can, and that's exactly why most people overlook it. But this plant isn't just easy, it's symbolic, especially in your bathroom. It becomes something more than greenery. It becomes a reflection of how prosperity quietly tries to reach you and how often we forget to lift it up. Look at your pothos for a moment, really look. Is it hidden behind bottles on a shelf, tucked in the corner under the sink, sitting on the back of the toilet with vines curled in on themselves, heavy and limp? That's not prosperity, that's survival. And far too many people are living that way, not just their plants, but their lives. Just getting by, just hanging on, waiting for light that doesn't come, waiting for space to stretch. That's what this plant reveals. Golden pothos is what we call a climbing plant. It's designed to rise. Its vines instinctively reach upward and outward, searching for structure, for support. But when it's placed too low or surrounded by clutter, its message gets lost. It becomes just another houseplant trying to breathe under the weight of things. And that's where the energy disconnect begins. Because in Feng Shui, and more importantly in life, where energy gathers matters, a plant placed beneath the toilet tank is not rising, it's absorbing stagnation, and over time, so do you. Let's bring it back to something simple: intention. When you place a golden pothos in your bathroom, you're not decorating, you're choosing. You're inviting a symbol of steady, sustainable prosperity into a space that typically lets things go. That contrast is powerful. The bathroom drains, the pothos climbs, one pulls down, the other pulls up. That's balance. That's how energy shifts in ways you can feel. Now imagine your pothos in a new spot, elevated slightly, planted in a ceramic pot that feels solid in your hands, its vines trailing not down but up, resting gently along the edge of a shelf or climbing near the mirror. Each leaf heart-shaped, vibrant, breathing. It doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't need perfection, but it does need to be seen. So do you. There's a quiet wealth this plant represents, not the kind that comes from luck or windfalls, but the kind that builds over time, like interest in a well-tended account or peace in a home that no longer leaks its energy. Pothos says you don't need to do more, you just need to anchor what you already have, hold it with care, let it grow not by force but by trust. I once worked with a woman mid-50s living alone, recently retired. She told me everything's fine but nothing feels abundant. Her bathroom was spotless, tidy, but cold. A sad pothos sat on the floor behind a stack of old magazines. "I forget it's there," she admitted. "We moved it just a few feet, put it in a white pot with a golden rim, set it on a wooden stool where it could rise slightly above the sink, nothing grand, but within weeks she noticed her mornings felt lighter. She said, 'I actually breathe when I'm in there now.'" Her bank account didn't double, but her sense of agency did. That's the shift we're talking about. So if you've been feeling stuck, financially, emotionally, energetically, look at your pothos. Where is it? Is it tucked away, surviving quietly, or is it rising with you, lifting alongside your intentions? This plant won't bring fortune like a lottery ticket, but it will mirror your willingness to care, to elevate, to grow on purpose. Because how we treat the small things reveals how we're handling the bigger things. And the golden pothos, humble and overlooked, might just be your first step in turning that quiet survival into steady, rooted abundance. You don't have to change your life overnight. You just have to lift what wants to rise. Peace lily filtering what words can't touch. Some rooms hold more than they show. You walk into your bathroom and everything looks fine. The counters are clean, the air smells fresh, the mirror is clear, but something still feels off, not dramatic, just a subtle heaviness, like the room never really exhaled. That's where the peace lily comes in, not as decoration, but as restoration. This is the plant that doesn't just filter the air, it filters everything words can't reach. Most of us don't realize how much emotional residue we leave behind. The argument you had that morning, the sigh you didn't mean to let out, the self-criticism whispered while looking in the mirror. These things don't disappear, they settle into corners, into grout lines, into the silence of the room. And while your brain moves on, your body remembers. This is why even a beautiful bathroom can feel energetically tired. Clean but not clear, functioning but not peaceful. The peace lily is a natural corrector of that imbalance. With its wide, graceful leaves and quiet presence, it absorbs what lingers. It thrives in the kind of environment most plants avoid: low light, high humidity, a space people rush in and out of. But that's exactly why it matters. It doesn't need much. It just needs to be allowed to do its work quietly, consistently, faithfully. Here's the difference. Some plants energize a room. The peace lily softens it. It calms. It catches the static left behind. And that's not mystical, it's felt. Think of how you feel when you walk into a chapel, a therapist's office, a spa. There's a stillness that signals it's okay to slow down now. The peace lily creates that same invitation. In your own home, in a room that's often overlooked. Let's talk about placement. You don't need a big plant. A medium pot near the sink, beside the tub, or in the corner by the toilet is enough. This isn't about size, it's about presence. Place it somewhere you see it daily, even if only for a moment, and once a week, take a damp cloth and gently wipe each leaf. Not because it's dusty, but because it's carrying something for you. As you clean it, say something simple in your mind. Peace enters, peace stays. You don't have to believe in rituals, but you will feel the shift in intention. That's where the real work begins. I once worked with a client, a therapist, recently divorced, mid-50s. She had spent decades listening to others but never quite made space to hear herself. Her bathroom was beautiful but cold. She said, "It's the one place I don't linger. I go in, I go out." We placed a peace lily near the bathtub, nothing fancy. And for 1 week I asked her to sit beside it for 2 minutes each morning. No journaling, no breathing techniques, just presence. On the 4th day she messaged me. I cried, not a breakdown, just a letting go. By the end of the week, she described the room differently. "It feels like somewhere I'm allowed to pause now." That's the kind of shift we're inviting. The peace lily works because it holds what you don't have time to hold. It doesn't judge your mood. It doesn't need you to be perfect. It just listens. And that listening, quiet, alive, accepting, is what makes it so powerful. In a room built around release, this plant creates a pocket of grace. Here's what I want you to know. Emotional hygiene matters just as much as physical cleanliness. And in a space where we let go of dirt, of tension, of the day itself, it makes all the difference to have something there reminding you that peace isn't passive. It's chosen. And that choice gets easier when the room itself begins to support it. So look at your bathroom not through your eyes, but through your body. Does it feel like exhale, or does it feel like armor? The peace lily isn't going to change your life overnight, but it will soften the room that sees you at your most vulnerable. It will breathe where you forget to. And in that stillness, you might remember how good it feels to simply rest. Not because the day is over, but because you finally have permission to be still and let go without rushing out the door. Aloe vera, the plant that saves what matters. Some plants bloom, some climb. Aloe vera does neither. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't reach for light with urgency. Instead, it stays thick, solid, quiet. Its strength is in what it stores, and that's its message. Not everything worth keeping announces itself. Aloe vera is the plant of inner reserve. In a world that constantly demands more, this is the plant that whispers, keep what nourishes. You've seen aloe used to heal burns, soothe skin, calm irritation, but that's just the surface. What matters more is how aloe heals by holding. Inside its thick, waxy leaves is water, still, cool, protected. While other plants lose moisture to the air, aloe holds on. It's not tight-fisted, it's wise. And in the context of your bathroom, a place built for release, that wisdom becomes a quiet form of resistance. Let's be honest, most of us give too much. Our time, our energy, our care, we give to family, work, to expectations, to just one more thing. And in the process, we forget to ask, what's left for me? Aloe vera becomes a physical reminder that giving is not the same as losing, that boundaries aren't walls, they are containers, and just like aloe stores what it needs inside, we must learn to do the same. Think of where you place your aloe, not hidden under the sink, not pushed to the back of the toilet. Let it stand in a place of quiet authority, on the edge of the tub, on a shelf near the window, or beside your skincare products, not as decor but as declaration. This is where I begin to hold something back for myself. Its shape helps. The leaves curve upward like open arms, but never open too far. They say, I'm available, but not emptying. And that's a posture we rarely practice. We're conditioned to pour out endlessly, to be useful, helpful, generous. But even wells run dry, even rivers need banks. Aloe doesn't apologize for preserving itself, and neither should you. I remember a woman I met, early 60s, raised 3 children, spent a lifetime caring for others. Her bathroom was spotless but ungrounded. "I'm tired in the morning, tired at night," she said, "but I don't feel like I've done anything." We added a single aloe plant to her space, just one. She started calling it her reset button. On stressful days, she'd touch the leaf, pause for a breath, and say nothing. She didn't need words. The plant was doing the talking, holding energy, reflecting strength. Day by day, she began to do the same. You don't have to believe in energy work to feel what aloe represents. Stillness, containment, self-respect. In a room where everything exits, water, tension, thought, aloe stays. It doesn't absorb, it doesn't deflect. It simply doesn't release what isn't ready, and that in itself is healing. Aloe vera also teaches timing. Its growth is slow, measured. It doesn't chase the sun, it doesn't sprawl, it waits. And when it gives, when you break a leaf for its gel, it gives exactly what's needed. No more, no less. That's balance. That's how we reclaim sustainability in a life that too often asks for urgency. So here's the deeper question: what are you storing inside, and is it serving you? Are you carrying nourishment or carrying noise? Aloe doesn't hoard, it preserves. That's the difference. It saves what matters, what heals, what helps. Everything else it lets go of before it enters. And that's the energy your bathroom needs. Not more scents, not more soaps, not another drawer organizer. Just a symbol that says, not everything has to be released. Some things are worth keeping close. If your life has felt leaky financially, emotionally, energetically, aloe won't fix it, but it will show you how to seal, how to restore, how to become a container again instead of a drain. Because real healing doesn't always come from what we do. Sometimes it comes from what we don't let go of. And sometimes the smallest plant in the quietest room is the one holding the wisdom you've forgotten how to carry. Snake plant, the silent guardian. Some plants speak softly, some don't speak at all, but you still feel their presence. The snake plant is one of them, tall, still, unbothered. It doesn't trail or bloom. It doesn't ask for attention, but once you place it in a room, something shifts, the energy steadies, the edges tighten, and without ever raising its voice, this plant begins to guard you. Bathrooms are the most energetically vulnerable spaces in a home. The constant flow of water, the downward pull of drains, the emotions processed in silence, it all adds up. You may not feel it right away, but over time the space becomes porous. You step out of the shower more tired than refreshed. You start your day already bracing for what's to come. That's when the snake plant becomes more than just a hardy houseplant. It becomes a boundary. Let's be clear, this is not a beautiful plant in the traditional sense. Its leaves are upright, sword-like with sharp tips and muted stripes. It's often called mother-in-law's tongue, a name that misses the point entirely. The real gift of this plant is its structure. It holds its form, it stands its ground. It doesn't sprawl or wilt or bend to the mood of the room. And in a space where everything else moves, that stillness is its power. Place it near the toilet, behind the bathroom door, or beside the sink. Wherever you tend to lose energy, you may not notice the shift in the first day, but within a week the space feels less scattered, your thoughts feel less rushed, your breath finds a rhythm. That's not magic, it's energy containment, and it's what this plant does best. I worked with a widow in her late 50s. She told me her bathroom felt echoey even though it was newly renovated. "It looks better than ever," she said, "but I don't want to be in there." We placed 2 small snake plants, one near the door, one on a shelf above the toilet. No other changes. When I followed up a month later, she said, "It's like something started holding space for me. I don't dread going in anymore." She didn't use big words. She didn't need to. The shift was real. Snake plants don't need much: indirect light, occasional water, a solid part, but what they give is much more than what they take. In Feng Shui, they're known to stabilize the energy field of a room. But even outside of that language, what they offer is simple. They don't let everything in, and they don't let everything out. In a bathroom, that's vital. Because here's the truth, most of us are leaking energy all day long through our screens, through our interactions, through the quiet demands we don't even recognize anymore. We walk into a room and instead of being restored, we brace. The snake plant changes that, without fragrance, without color, just posture, just presence. Think of it as a visual anchor, a silent reminder that you don't have to absorb everything. You don't have to release everything either. You are allowed to hold, to protect, to rest. Its sharp leaves point upward, not in aggression, but in clarity. This is where my energy rises. This is where it returns. And here's what's most beautiful. Snake plants thrive in places most plants can't. They don't need attention. They don't wilt under pressure. They're the plant version of quiet resilience. That's something we all need a little more of, especially in the places where we begin and end our days. So if you feel like your bathroom drains you, not just physically but emotionally, don't start with a renovation. Start with a snake plant. Let it stand for you where you haven't yet stood for yourself. Let it say the word no without sound. Let it remind you that strong doesn't have to mean loud, and protected doesn't have to mean closed off. Because sometimes the softest form of healing begins with simply being held. Not by a person, not by a promise, but by something alive that asks for nothing, yet offers everything. That's the gift of the silent guardian. Spider plant rebirth in the corners. Some plants don't just grow, they multiply, not with force, not with demand, just quietly, persistently, like hope that refuses to quit. The spider plant does exactly that. It sends out small shoots, baby plants that dangle gently like soft whispers of renewal. In a space like your bathroom where things are flushed, rinsed, and washed away, the spider plant offers something rare, the energy of starting again. This plant doesn't need grandeur. It doesn't need high-end parts or center stage. In fact, it thrives in corners, hung from a ceiling hook placed on a high shelf, trailing down gently like a green curtain. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't ask to be the main event, it simply fills the forgotten spaces with life. And isn't that what most of us are craving? To feel life return in places we thought were done growing. The spider plant is a symbol of soft rebirth, not dramatic reinvention, not change your life overnight energy, but the kind of quiet return that happens when you least expect it. A small new leaf after loss, a sense of lightness after grief, a gentle lifting of something heavy. And that's why this plant belongs in your bathroom. Because in the space where you undress, rinse off the day, and let go of things no one else sees, this plant reminds you that you can begin again, even from the corners. You may think of it as decorative, but energetically the spider plant does something deeper. It purifies the air, yes, but more importantly, it freshens the emotional tone. It moves energy upward and outward. It brings flow to places that have grown stagnant. Its movement is soft, even when there's no breeze, but you feel it, like the feeling of a quiet yes after months of not yet. I once visited a client who had tucked away most of her emotional life. Early 60s, divorced, empty nester. Her home was neat, tasteful, but stiff. "I've made peace with things," she said, but her voice was tired. We added a spider plant, one of the big ones with babies already growing, above the window in her bathroom, just high enough to draw the eye upward. A few weeks later, she told me she'd started playing music while getting ready in the morning. She hadn't done that in years. "I forgot how good it felt," she said. That's the kind of rebirth this plant brings. Not fireworks, just warmth returning where it had gone quiet. If you choose to bring one into your space, choose a hanging part or elevated surface. Let it move, let it dangle, let it reclaim space gently. Don't trim the babies right away. Let them remind you that things grow in their own time. Let them say you don't have to be done yet. Because you're not. No matter what stage of life you're in, your corners still hold potential. And here's the emotional layer most people miss. Spider plants reflect back your capacity to nurture. When you water it, it multiplies. When you care for it, it gives, without asking, without drama, just like many women do for the people around them. But in this case, the giving loops back. The baby shoots can be clipped, reparted, shared. This is the kind of growth that creates more growth, not depletion. So if you've been feeling like certain parts of you are fading, your energy, your creativity, your sense of renewal, the spider plant won't fix it overnight. But it will hold space for it to return, not in grand gestures, but in quiet, almost unnoticeable ways, until one day you'll look up and realize something inside you has shifted. Light has re-entered the corner, and you don't feel quite so stuck anymore. In a world that praises speed, dramatic change, and loud declarations, the spider plant is a gentle protest. It says, rebirth can be soft, rebirth can start small, and you can grow again even from a place that once felt finished. Maybe it's time to believe that. Money tree wealth that stays rooted. Wealth isn't always what you think it is. It's not just dollars in the bank or a house that's paid off or a well-earned retirement. Sometimes wealth looks like peace in your mornings or not flinching when the phone rings. Sometimes wealth is stability, not gain, and the money tree in its quiet way teaches exactly that. In your bathroom, this plant becomes more than a symbol. It becomes a mirror, showing you how to hold what you've already earned and how to root the energy of enough. Let's start with what makes the money tree different. It doesn't sprawl like ivy or hang like a fern. It stands braided at the base, steady in the center. That braid is more than aesthetic, it represents intertwined strength, multiple paths woven into one. And in your home, especially in a room like the bathroom where energy often slips away, the money tree becomes a kind of anchor, a reminder that prosperity doesn't come from reaching, it comes from grounding. Place it near the door or on a low shelf where the roots feel supported. Choose a part that feels sturdy, ceramic, earth-toned, something with weight. This is not a flimsy plant, it holds water in its trunk, it grows slowly. And that's the message: steady wealth, not fast luck, not overnight magic, but something that stays because it's been cared for properly. Too often, when people think of attracting prosperity, they look outward: more work, more hustle, more effort. But real abundance isn't about more, it's about what you can hold, what you can manage, what doesn't leak away. That's why the money tree in a bathroom matters. In a space built for letting go, this plant says, some things are worth keeping, some energy deserves to stay. I once helped a woman in her 70s, retired, stable income, nothing extravagant, but she said, I still feel like it could all disappear. That kind of financial anxiety doesn't always come from poverty. Sometimes it comes from years of unpredictability. We placed a money tree beside her bathtub in a white ceramic pot with a small red string tied around the base. It was simple, quiet, but she said, I feel like my home is holding me now, like I'm not just balancing, I'm settled. That's what rooted wealth feels like. Let's talk care. The money tree doesn't need much. Indirect light, water when the soil's dry, a gentle wipe of its leaves now and then. But what it offers is more than care for care. It offers a living reflection of how you hold your own resources. If your plant dries out, ask, where am I overextending? If it droops, ask, where am I letting fear dictate my choices? This is not superstition, it's mindfulness in a physical form. You may choose to add symbols, 3 coins tied to the pot, a note of intention beneath the soil, or simply a quiet thank you spoken while watering. But even without these, the plant does its job. It holds, it grows, roots, and it teaches by being. In American culture, we're taught to chase, earn more, spend more, have more, but few of us are taught how to hold what we have, how to protect it, nurture it, let it deepen. The money tree models that. It doesn't shoot up overnight, but it also doesn't collapse. Its base is thick, resilient. Its leaves reach upward, but never out of control. That balance of ambition and rootedness is what transforms wealth from momentary to meaningful. So ask yourself, is your prosperity rooted or is it always running? Is your bathroom a space that quietly governs the flow of your day, supporting your sense of stability or silently draining it? The money tree isn't loud, it doesn't demand attention, but its message is clear. What stays is what's supported, what grows is what's grounded, what matters is what you water. If you're ready to move beyond chasing wealth and into being with it, then begin where energy enters and exits the fastest. Begin with the room you use without thinking, and add something that reminds you not all that flows should be released. Some things like peace, like security, like breath, deserve to stay. Fan palm, the green wall of soft defense. Some protection doesn't come with walls, it comes with presence. Quiet, unmoving, reassuring, that's the kind of defense the fan palm offers. It doesn't shout, it doesn't block aggressively, but it stands, wide, still, and strong. And in your bathroom, where you're most physically and emotionally bare, that quiet strength becomes more than design. It becomes a boundary your nervous system can trust. The fan palm is not delicate. Its leaves spread like shields, large, flat, and beautifully fanned, creating a natural barrier without building one. It holds space. Not in a stay away kind of way, but in a you're safe here kind of way. That's an energy often missing in bathrooms, especially for women who have spent years putting others first. When your own spaces feel exposed, scattered, or cold, it's not just about layout. It's about whether your home knows how to hold you, especially when you're not holding anyone else. This is where the fan palm steps in. In Feng Shui, plants with wide leaves are believed to shield and soften harsh energy. But even if you've never studied energy, you know what it's like to enter a room and feel unprotected. Too bright, too loud, too open. In a bathroom, especially one with large mirrors or sharp corners, this can create emotional static. The fan palm absorbs that noise, not with fragrance, not with color, just with shape, with presence, with stillness. Place it in a corner that feels empty, cold, or sharp, near the toilet, beside a tall mirror, or anywhere you subconsciously avoid. Its size matters not because bigger is better, but because space needs balancing. If a room feels too open, the body doesn't relax. If it feels too confined, the mind doesn't breathe. The fan palm brings equilibrium. It says, you can be here fully, no part of you needs to brace. I once met a retired nurse who said, "I feel like I'm always on edge even at home." Her bathroom was all hard surfaces and bright lights, clean but echoey. We placed a fan palm in the corner opposite the door. The change was instant. "It's like I'm not being watched anymore," she said, not because anyone was watching, but because the space had been too exposed, too uncovered. The fan palm created a soft veil, not to hide her, but to hold her. This plant doesn't demand care, moderate water, indirect light, occasional dusting, but what it gives back is steadiness. And for women who have spent decades adjusting, giving, responding, steadiness is gold. It's not flashy like flowers or trailing like vines, it just is solid, present, unmoved by the day's emotions. It also changes how you move. When a fan palm is placed with intention, you walk differently, slower, straighter. You feel held even if you can't name why. And that's the kind of shift that doesn't just change your bathroom. It changes how you enter and exit your day, how you return to yourself after tending to everyone else. There's also a visual truth here. A fan palm looks like protection. Its leaves fan out the way a mother's arm might shield or a favorite blanket might wrap. You don't need to explain it, your body gets it. And in a space where you often undress physically, emotionally, spiritually, having something that stands between you and the harshness of the world matters. So if your bathroom feels too bare, too cold, or too sharp, don't rush to fill it with things. Start with form, with energy, with a fan palm. Let it soften the corners, let it quiet the space. Let it say without words, you can exhale here. Not every defense needs to be loud, not every shield has to be hard. Sometimes the strongest boundary is the one that feels like love. And in the quiet corners of your home, especially the ones where no one sees but you, that love can take the shape of a green wall, gently fanned open. Away ringa. Final, you've just traveled through the most overlooked room in your home, and perhaps through some of the most overlooked parts of yourself. Not with judgment, not with urgency, but with presence. And in that presence, you've seen that transformation doesn't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes it begins with a leaf, a root, a breath of green in a space you barely paused in before. Each of these plants, the golden pothos, the peace lily, aloe vera, snake plant, spider plant, and fan palm, does something simple but profound. They don't just decorate, they demonstrate. They show how energy moves, how stillness heals, how life regenerates from corners, from silence, from care. These are not magical solutions. They are reminders that wealth isn't just money, it's peace. That boundaries don't always need words, they can be formed in leaves. That healing doesn't have to be loud, it can start in the room where you wash your face. These plants hold that knowing in their form. You only had to stop long enough to see it. Your bathroom may still be the smallest room in your home, but perhaps now it carries more weight, more intention, more you, and in a world that constantly pulls you outward, the decision to root inward, even in the quietest of places, is an act of self-respect, of soft defense, of steady prosperity. Thank you for spending this time with me, for slowing down, for letting this quiet wisdom touch the spaces between your thoughts. I hope your home, especially the parts no one else sees, begins to feel more like a home for you again. And I hope you remember, even the smallest space can hold your biggest healing. May your mirrors reflect kindness, may your corners carry light, and may something green grow exactly where you once thought nothing could. With warmth and deep respect, thank you for watching.